Nancy Fetzer's Sentence Building. Lesson 4. Adding fancy words to a basic sentence. These are the things that you will need: a pencil, a red crayon, and your basic sentence organizer number 1.
We are ready to begin. Today, we will learn how to add fancy words to a sentence. But first, we need an idea, something to write about. Let's watch this idea about a bear. Wow, that was fun! Let's write a sentence that tells about this idea. Have your sentence organizer in front of you. Get into writing position. Sit up tall in your seat, feet flat on the ground, and have your pencil in your hand, ready to write. Follow my steps. Step 1. Point with the pencil to the idea and ask, who or what is this about? A bear. Go to the planning page and draw a quick sketch of the bear in the top left box. That's where we put who or what our sentence is about. Step 2. Go back to the idea and ask, what about the bear? What was the bear doing? The bear floated. Floated. That's what the bear did. The bear floated. Go back to the planning page. We don't need to draw a bear again. Instead, a wavy line can be drawn to show that the bear floated. Great job! Step 3. Add more information about the idea. Look at our idea. There's more we can tell about this idea. The bear floated. Look, the where kid is here to help. The idea shows the bear floated, but it also shows where the bear floated. The where kid reminds us how to ask the where question about an idea. Where was the bear floating? In space. In space tells where the bear was floating. Go to your planning page. In the right planning box, draw a quick sketch of some stars to show space. That was easy. Good job. Step 4. Add fancy words. Wow, look at the magic shaker. It's reminding us to add fancy words when we write. Fancy words describe who or what is important in a sentence. But how do we add fancy words? It's easy. Ready? First, say the sentence. The bear floated in space. Next, go to the left box. The bear. Ask, is the bear an important part of this sentence? Yes, he is. That means we need to put an X on him. The X shows who or what is important in our sentence, and that we need to add fancy words to it. Next, Read the second box. Floated in space. Space. Is space important to this idea? Yes. Put an X on it. After we decide who or what is important in a sentence, then we go back and add fancy words to the parts we marked with an X. Go to the bear. Ask the fancy word question. What kind of bear was floating in space? We can describe what the bear looks like, brown or big. Or we can describe what the bear is feeling, like happy. Always choose describing words that describe the important information about the idea. Brown and big are not important in this idea. Look at the bear's face. He is happy while floating in space. That's important information to put in the sentence. Write it down by the X. Happy. We have one more X in our planning boxes. It's on space. Say the sentence and ask the fancy word question. The happy bear floated in space. Space. What kind of space was the happy bear floating in? Remember, we want to use words that describe the idea. Let's use outer space because that describes exactly where he is. Because outer space means far away from Earth. Let's write outer above the X. Outer. Go back and say the whole sentence. The happy bear floated in outer space. Great job! Step 5. Time to plan for the capital and stop. Every sentence starts with a capital, and every sentence ends with a stop. Every sentence starts with a capital, and every sentence ends with a stop. Point to the planning boxes and say our sentence again. The happy bear floated in outer space. Go back and say the first word of our sentence. The. In the left planning box, write down the. Capital T, H, E. The. After planning for the capital, then go to the right box to make a period to show that's where the sentence ends. Great job! Get out a red crayon to check for the capital and stop in the planning boxes. Trace the capital T in the first word of our sentence, the. Yay! We have the capital at the start of our sentence. Next, go to the end of our sentence. The happy bear floated in outer space. Trace the period. Yay! We have our period. That tells us where the sentence ends. Step 6. Now it's time to write the sentence.
You've planned. You've talked. Now it's time to write. Please remember, if you have the skills, then you write it. If you are still learning the skills, then a helper writes it for you.
Say the words as you write. The happy bear floated in outer space. Very good. Excellent job. Step 7. It's editing time. Grab your red crayon. Go back and trace the first letter in the sentence to check that you started it with a capital. Go to the end and mark the period to check that you have a stop. Great job! You have a capital and stop in your sentence. You are ready to point and read your sentence. The happy bear floated in outer space. Read it again. The happy bear floated in outer space. Congratulations! You have written a complete sentence that tells all about your idea, plus you added fancy words to make your sentence more descriptive. Yay! Pat yourself on the back. You have finished Lesson 4. And after you finish your homework page, then you are ready to move on to Lesson 5.